Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSTV. This is, when I mute YouTube because it's annoying me, the GT4 TCR Challenge. This is Season 6, Round 11. Can you imagine we've done 6 seasons? Oh my god. And we are at Hungaroring. I'm going to describe this in the way that Sam did a moment ago. The track looks like a penis coming out of a boot. If you really want to imagine that, then that's up to you. We've got a 24-degree track. We've not got a massive amount of cars. We've got 3, I think, GT4s, maybe 4. We've got a lot more TCRs. So it's going to be an exciting race on one side of the fence. They don't name the corners here, I don't think, because I can't find a track map with any names, only numbers, so we'll class this as American. So, welcome to Hungaroring. In the booth with me tonight is Stacey Jeffries. How you doing?
Evening, Pete. How you doing, buddy?
I am slowly recovering from flu, and because I'm a man, that means it's obviously worse than it is for women. But it's not COVID, so high five myself.
That's good news.
Yeah, and also in the booth is Sam Boozin. Good evening, Sam.
Good evening, Pete, Stacey, everybody watching.
And how's Sam today? Are you good?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah,
looking forward to the race.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Right, let's quickly, while these guys attempt to do some sort of qualifying effort, talk about the standings. So I'm going to talk GT4 first, because that's not going to take me very long, really, is it? Because there's only about 3 of them in the session. Yeah. Oh, and Stefan's in, so I think it's 4 that's in the session. So Simon Trendle leads the way in Season 6. He's got 1,586 points, and Tyler, the Smiler, in his Porsche there, is in second with 1,479. So there's 110 in it. If Simon kind of got wrote off and Tyler won, that might make a difference. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit one-sided. Stefan is in third. With 1,347, there he is, and my money, I'm going to actually put my money on Stefan tonight. He is rapid in practice. I think, given where the track is, I think he's probably mentally done a gazillion laps, and I think this is his night. Fourth is some utter idiot called Wobbly Kneecaps, who's not here, and Chris Needham is in 5th in the championship. The other car that's on track tonight for GT4 is Jason Haddington. No, it's not, is it? Who is it? Oh, he is. No, he is. Yeah.
So he is, so you have to change my thing. Okay. I did not notice he changed.
Oh, okay. No worries. So he's in the McLaren, and he's doesn't feature at all at the moment in the GT4 standings. However, in TCR, he's 9th, so I don't think he's going to contribute too much tonight. Stacey, what do you think?
We'll see what happens. As I say, anything can happen tonight. But just wondering, where are all the GT4 drivers tonight? What's their excuses?
Yeah, I think there's been a sniper in Hungary. I think it might be one of the pie stands that Hungry Carl Hardy goes to on a regular basis. Hungry by name, hungry by nature. That's what we're saying.
I'm shocked not to see the star of the show, Wobbly Kneecap. Where is he? I turned up especially.
I think he's providing a service to his missus, but I can't be quoted on that. It's not a good service. It's very brief, so he might have time for pizza and several cigarettes. I don't really know. Anyway, so let's talk about TCR. Stephen Walker leads the way on 1,828 points, and he's roughly, carry the one, a gazillion points ahead of Gary Craig, who is obviously driving for the best team in the world. He also has the greatest teammate on the planet, although his teammate hasn't featured for many, many weeks. He's on 1,544, so it will take a small but not insignificant miracle for him to take the lead of the championship. There he is on your screen now, in the stylish Audi in green. Ryan Walker is in third on 1,467, so he's in shouting distance of second position. With Russell Cowell, Simon Cowell's not so good looking distant, very, very distant relative, but he still wears his pants under his boobs on 1,185. And his teammate, Shane Powell, is on 1,026. There's Shane. Excuse me. I did say I was recovering from flu, so if I cough or sound like I'm dying at any point, please don't phone an ambulance. I am not at risk of dying tonight. Maybe tomorrow. So, stay. What can people do, anybody, including, I don't know, various different internet geeks, do about Stephen Walker and his march to the top and dominance of TCR?
Well, I really don't know, because he keeps stealing the show week after week. I mean, he's had his odd, what I call a little wobble, probably because he's not been well. I don't know. I keep saying it's got to be Gary Craig that's going to stick it to him, but he's still miles behind.
Yeah, he's a long way off now. It's almost like the run that should have happened has passed him by. Don't get me wrong, Stephen Walker is an utter alien. It's one of those situations where you would have had to start your championship at the very beginning on a level playing field with him, because it's such a such dominance, such a high level of skill. What he can do with the Audi is phenomenal. I'm sure he's good in other cars as well, but I've only seen him in the Audi. And every time he says, "I don't like this track, it's no good for me, I'm not fast here." What a liar. What an absolute liar.
That's true. I was going to say, surely he's thinking about starting from the back one race just for a laugh, just to see what he can do.
Well, I could put a penalty on him if that's what you want.
Just to kind of, compare it, do a Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah,
prove
let's
how much
see what
of
happens.
a really good driver he really is and stick him at the back.
Well,
I reckon
he kinda...
it's not the challenge.
Right. Do you remember, were you there for Virginia? VIR. He checked himself out on the first turn along with his brother Ryan, and he literally came through the field from the back and won.
Oh, well, he's already proved it then.
He kind of has, yeah. That is Simon Trendle doing a Bingham. Different Bingham to going full Bingham, which is for your car to disappear for long lengths of time due to your rubbish internet that I used to do. Always exciting. We've got a curb cam, haven't we, Sam? We always want to see curb cams. Oh, there it is. It's that little chicane thing. It's a good one.
Looking good, Sam.
Yeah, looking good. Right, let's see if we can... how long have we got? How long do we have? We've got about 7 minutes. Right, let's jump on board with a TCR. We'll get that one out of the way first. Have you got anybody starting a lap, Sam? Cameraman Sam. Sam the cameraman. Here we go. So, Gary, this isn't a GT4, it's TCR, but that's good enough for me. So we're... Oh, there we go. Oh, we've just zapped into a GT4. So this is Simon Trendle. He's just passing pit lane entry. You want to well, in the TCR you want to be hugging that line. In the GT4 we clearly take it at a late apex. Absolutely gas it. This is the start finish straight now. We took ourselves... You don't get much of a window, do you? It's like looking through someone's letterbox. Maybe Simon's good at that. Maybe he's a peeping Tom. So braking before that line. Get a bit of curb there. I've seen people do more. I've seen Stefan do a lot more on his practice laps. Fire it down this straight here and into turn 2, which is quite a tight left-hander. You want to face it up on the left-hand side so that you can take a lot of this curb and carry speed through the right-hander there at turn 3. Then we're into 4 here, so we're going to take this at speed. And then you blind into this one, really. Which is turn 5. Don't drift out too far. You do get a slowdown out And then hold the right-hand side there if you can. You want it to be a bit nearer, I think, if he's being honest. Then you got this little chicane. This is where the cam is on that one on the left there. Then this is my favourite turn, is it? No, not this one. This is the tighter one. And we go around to the right here. Then you got a short straight. There's a good overtaking opportunity back there. This is my favourite turn because you don't have to think about it. You just flat out. Then you get out off the gas, straighten your car up. That's very wide. That'll be an off track. The session's gone checkered, and then you took it into the last corner. Lots of curb, and then fire it. Oh no, it's not the last corner, is it? Oh dear, I'm terrible at this. This is the penultimate corner because we've not been past the pits, and this is where we joined him before. So past the pits, and he's bailed on the lap because I think he got an off track where I said he did. So. It's quite a tight pit lane entry, but thanks for showing us that, Simon. And then scrub your speed off, get down to pit lane speed, and then you're done. Everybody's piling into the pits now. That's the end of practice. We'll try and get you a lap on board with the more exciting car, the TCR. Not that I'm biased, because I drive it. How do you get on with that, Stacey? Stacey's dead.
Sorry,
That's all right. How did you enjoy that lap?
yeah, that was really good.
Cool.
Would have been good to go on with a TCR though as well and see how they drive compared to the GT4.
Yeah, unfortunately, my timing was rubbish, so we didn't get to do that. So we will eventually once. Oh, we've got it now. Actually, do you want to do the standings for GT4?
I'd love to do it if I could read it. I'm still pixelated, unfortunately.
In that case, your pole man on GT4 tonight is Simon Trendle for Team Chimera. His pole time was a 1:51.114. Second place, or second off rather, if I can now read it because it's just disappeared out of my line of sight. There we go. Is Smiler Tyler Newitt for BSTV Esports Orange in his Porsche. Stefan Goebel goes off third. I still think there's some way for him to go tonight. I wouldn't write him off. And then fourth is Jason Haddington. Sorry, that was VTS Esports. Fourth is Jason Haddington for RWC Racing White. Your poleman for TCR is, yeah, I know, Stephen Walker. For Spectre 6 Purple. Off second will be Ryan Walker, his twin. They were separated at birth. One of them got the good looks. That's for BSTV Esports Blue. Off third,
ended up in Scotland.
yeah, literally, yeah. And they made shortbread for a living. That's funny if anybody likes shortbread because there is a couple. Never mind. For Gary Craig's off third for BSTV Esports Green. Hopefully he will be the winner. Not that I'm biased. Shane Powell goes off fourth for Spectre 6 White. Arnaud Chenonnier goes off fifth for RWC Racing White. That's a good qualifying result for Arnaud. Carl Hardy goes off sixth. That's not such a good qualifying position for Carl, given that it's at the Hungaroring. Hungary. Pies. Anyway, seventh will be Russell Cowell for Spectre 6 White. Eighth will be Loverboy Martin Brennan for Safeguard by Result. Ninth will be JB Dejoux for LMT Racing, and David Ayres rounds off the field, and the GT4s have gone. Blink and you miss it. There's only 4 of them tonight. Let's hope that they can entertain the world. Meanwhile, in the back is all the wasps of the TCRs spread all over the place. Excuse me. And Gary is vying for second place already, and I think he's going to get that unless Ryan's got a run, Stacey.
And Carl Hardy has also jumped to place as well.
Oh, he has, yes. Moved up. And yeah, Gary's got that done over Stephen's twin, Brian Stalker. We're watching Arnaud Chenonnier. We were watching Arnaud Chenonnier. Now we're watching Tyler trying to get himself a first place position. But look at Stefan, Stacey.
He's going for it.
He bailed out. He had a really good run then.
There may be 4 tonight, but I think we're going to have a really, really good race. Really exciting. I think we're going to be surprised tonight.
Yeah, I'm a little worried by the gap that Stephen Walker's managed to etch behind him. Oh, and Brian Stalker has shuffled himself back another position behind Shane Powell, who's made his way forward. Excuse me. Apologies for the sounds of dying. Arnaud Chenonnier having a good look at David Ayres, who's moved up 2 positions from the start. JB Dejoux has been shuffled to the back. I'm sure he'll make his way forward again.
Has there been an incident or just people being quicker?
I think it's just shuffling about on the first lap, to be honest. David Ayres under pressure from Arnaud Chenonnier now. After his clearly lightning fast start. JB might be able to mop up. And look at this, Brian Stalker putting a move on Shane. He's going to get this done because he's got massively the preferable line through there. And, ooh, we're going to come in together there.
No.
Handbags there, handbags at dawn between Arnaud and David Ayres. Oh, and a bit more, and a bit more. Oh dear, JB didn't have anywhere to go there. The door was fully shut in his face. There's JB. He's got a bit of damage on the right front of that car. It's probably affecting the handling a little now. Tyler not able to make any inroads on Simon Trendle at the minute. In fact, he's fallen victim potentially to Stefan Stacey.
Well, you never know. Tyler could be doing his little trick there, fuel saving, chilling out the back before he turns into silent assassin mode.
Yeah, this is very true. He's not got the Wobbly the Weirdo in the field tonight, so he can just get on and race.
But to be fair, what you're saying, it looks like Stefan's actually being held up.
I think so, yeah. He's very fast around here. That was super wide from Arnaud Chenonnier. It'd be nice to see the few seconds before that wide line, see what was going on, but it might not be on the event tracker because there's... Oh, hang on, here we go. So he's slow. I think has he got a slowdown? No. So he's just gone... Oh, he's just gone wide. He got a bit of a twitch on. Has he got a slowdown? Yeah, he must have had a slowdown off a previous turn. You wouldn't drive like that otherwise. But yeah, I think Stefan... Oh, actually, Tyler's putting his foot down now. Last lap. Tyler did the fastest lap of the race so far. And this is JB putting a move on David Evers. The ghost of Bill Past.
It looks like David's got a better line there. Oh,
what is going on there? So you can see the damage on the back of David Ayres' car. And he's got a... Has he got a slowdown there or something? He's fallen victim to... It's all going on at the very back of the TCR field, Stacey. Who thought we'd be spending most of the first few laps looking at these three, but...
you wouldn't, would you?
No, their sponsors are doing brilliantly. These guys missing out entirely. So, at Carl's home track, he's currently in 6th place, one up from where he started. And these three are going at it again, Stacey. This is ridiculous, this. I think they're doing it on purpose. Evening on the chat to Chris Needham, Alan Toon, Matt Elmore. Why aren't you racing? Any of you? What's going on?
Ah, Sir Alan Toon. Good evening to you, mate.
Chris isn't racing because his Oculus has become very unwell and had to go back. There's David Evers trying to do a move.
Come on,
David. JB, he's managed it.
Yay, done.
It's a bit twitchy though, that Audi, isn't it? David's. I know it's got damage.
Too much damage there.
Yeah.
He's handling it well.
Agree.
Mind you, all three of these have got carrying damage at the moment.
Yeah, they've been pinballing off one another the entire race so far, haven't they?
Someone forgot to tell him it's not bumper car racing.
Yeah, that'll never catch on. Matt Elmore says he's back next Stephen. Alan Toon says evening, Stace.
We need to get Alan back racing, don't we?
Oh yeah, he needs to put that MX-5 down, and no matter how much he loves it, and get him one of these things.
Yeah, Alan, you need a proper car. Get him an Audi.
Do you think it's called Hungaroring because they've got no pies, or is it just that he's eaten them all? And therefore everybody else is hungry?
That's probably why he's doing so well. He wants to get to the end because he's got food waiting.
Yeah, definitely. I'll buy him a Ginsters if he wins.
Special delivery, yeah? Delivery.
Yep. He's moved up a little bit there on the back of Shane Powell.
Hopefully it won't be long until he makes a move.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got the draft at the minute in TCR, with the exception of Stephen Walker, so it'll be difficult to pull a move at the moment. These three still absolutely together. I think you're right, Stacey. I think there's a tactic going to unfold at some point in the race. These guys have dropped Jason Haddington, sadly. Jason used to be my running mate at the back of most TCR fields. I'm surprised he's jumped into the GT4, to be honest, because he was doing well, in my opinion, in the TCR. So here we go. We got a couple of paired up battles now. This one's looking the most tasty.
Go on, Carl.
He's heard the Ginsters promise, and now he's after it. Brian Stoker in 2 cars in front is on the back of Gary now.
You know, Gary has actually promised me a win this season. Do you know that?
Has he really?
He certainly has.
Has he paid for Stephen to go on holiday?
No, I don't know.
No? Okay. Gary's more than capable of winning. He's very, very talented. He's got all the kit to go with it now. It's only a matter of time, to be honest.
Well, that's one of the things. When Clyde's here and he's chatting away, and we're like saying, you know, who's going to stick it to Walker, and I said it's got to be Gary.
Yeah, it does. It has to be. I can't see anybody else in the field capable at the minute. I really don't. I mean, Brian Stoker, he's got a lot of skill and talent, but not quite the edge that Gary's got.
100%. Gary is going to be the one who's going to do it out of anyone, but he just ain't quite there yet.
I think we've been rinsed out here, Stacey, because Chris Needham says Gary won last week, didn't he?
Did he really?
I hope he did. Otherwise, Chris is going to look very silly.
I was going to say, because I wasn't here last week. Did he really win last week?
In that case, that's brilliant then. Did Stephen Walker turn up last week? Can Chris tell us? I was working.
I was working late as well. I was doing a late shift. I didn't even get back.
Goddamn real life. Who needs it?
Yeah.
Sam's just put the results up from last week on Discord. Hang on. I'll go and get that.
So I'm going to have to rephrase now. Gary promised me a win when I'm broadcasting. There you go.
Gary beat Stephen last week. Get in. That's brilliant.
I'm so annoyed right now. I've actually missed that.
I'm going to have to watch that race now. I don't normally watch them.
Well, I'm going to have to now as well.
Yeah. Get the popcorn out, Stacey. We'll do that.
Spoiler alert. Gary won the race.
All right, thanks for that. You freaking genius.
Oh, that's so... I'm absolutely gutted now because you would have heard my absolute awful voice singing for Gary as well. You missed that moment.
Let's do it this week instead. So we are still as we were, by the way. Simon Trendle for Team Chimera still leads the way over Smiler Newitt for BSTV Esports Orange, and then Stefan Goebel for VTS even Esports. Jason Haddington brings up the rear of the very short GT4 field for RWC Racing White. And then we've got this lot, headed up by Stephen Walker for Spectre 6 Purple. He's showing for 5 seconds every so often we do this. And then he'll disappear off the screens for a long time. And then we've got Gary Craig here in second place for BSTV Esports Green, followed by Brian Stalker in the 97 car. Then we've got Shane Powell for Spectre 6 White, Carl Hardy at his home track for Safeguard by Results, Russell Cowell for Spectre 6 White as well. Out of position, I'd say, but never mind. Then we got Loverboy for Safeguard by Result. Arnaud Chardonnier is some way back from Loverboy. There he is.
Which is good.
Yeah, well, it is for Loverboy. And then David Ayres for Result Clothing iRacing Team, and then JB Dejoux for LMT Racing. He's got quite a bit of damage. Hopefully he'll pick up speed once he's got that fixed when he pits. Just to remind everybody of what's going on. We have a 1 hour race. You have 15 incidents before you get a penalty. There's no limit. You don't get a disqualification. They've all got one fast repair. They are all at 50% fuel, which means they've got to pit at least once, or probably only once. So we'll have to see how that pans out across the race. Now, Tyler looks like he's giving it some serious beans. That McLaren looks very quick, and Stefan is clearly stalking. Is that your opinion as well, Stacey?
100%. I mean, I don't want to ruin anybody's race yet, but I know who I'm cheering for tonight for GT4.
Who is that?
I'm saying no names.
You're saying no names? That's very strange. Is it?
But I think it's obvious though tonight.
Yeah, it is. You're shouting for Jason Haddington, aren't you?
You completely disappeared because my internet's just gone, so I didn't even hear what you said.
I shall repeat that. I think you're shouting for Jason Haddington tonight, aren't you?
No.
It's Jason for the win, isn't it?
Afraid not. Nice chap, Jason, but no. Not tonight. Not tonight, mate.
Look at that, curb cam. It's perfectly positioned, that, Sam. That's brilliant. Apart from when Loverboy drives round it instead of over it.
So, Pete.
Yeah.
Don't want to ruin anybody's race, but TCR.
Yeah.
We obviously need to forget about Stephen Walker because we know he's going to win unless something happens. So, who are we going to say is going to be second tonight?
You mean TCR?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Gary's going to end up second. I think Stephen Walker will end up
who do you think's
first.
Going to be third?
I think. Alright, I don't think Shane Powell can cross the gap up to Ryan, Gary, and Stephen. I do think that Carl and Russell have it in them. But do I think that at this point that they can claw back the 4 seconds? Maybe in the pit stops. I think. I'm gonna be boring, utterly boring, and say Ryan is gonna end up third. And yes, that means that we're going to end up finishing as we are now. But I honestly think that is how it's going to finish in TCR.
Interesting. What about you, Sam?
I am asked questions. No.
Nobody knows what Sam just said or what it means.
Exactly. That's why I'm.
That's why Sam is the technical wizard.
Well, I'm asking for both categories. I was just checking a few things behind the scenes, so I've not really listened to what you just said.
Yeah, we're just talking nonsense anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Well, I'm used to that, but yeah.
Yeah. So, Stacey, why are there no BMWs?
Because they're too good for this one.
Oh my God, you're so wrong. It's ridiculous. So, Sam, pay attention. Difficult question. Why are there no BMWs?
Coach, she's got a big fat ass. I love the BMW, but yeah, the other ones are better on iRacing at least.
Right,
So
okay.
that's why.
So is that a balance of performance that's wrong, or is it that in real life the BMW doesn't compete as well?
I don't know about real life. I don't watch the Michelin Pilot Challenge in real life, so I have absolutely no idea. And I don't drive them in iRacing, so I'm not sure what the balance of performance is like, but I quite like the BMW myself, but clearly it's not as good as the Porsche. So yeah, and you know, we know that the camera guys went for the McLaren just to do something different. So
yeah, they were just mixing it up. Does weirdo kneecaps still drive the BMW?
Oh no, he left that like a few weeks ago.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, you really need to stop working for a bit and actually
I really
keep up
do.
with what's happening.
Yeah, sadly I am on 12-hour shifts and doing 6 days a week at the minute, so I'm not too far from utter death. So yeah. Oh, look at this! Tyler's putting a lot of pressure now on Simon. Do we think he can get it done, Stacey, or not?
No, not yet. I think he's still a few laps away.
Okay.
But I think Stefan's going to sit back a little bit, let them two fight, and then he can take the win.
I actually think that you're right. I honestly have my money on Stefan Goebel tonight. I saw him in practice. He looked steady. He looked stable. I know he's looked like that before and sometimes thrown it at the scenery, but I think he's got it in him tonight.
He's definitely got the talent.
Oh, yeah. And it's not that far from his home country, really. I think he's probably mentally done a bazillion laps of this track. It's a famous F1 track as well.
And it's got Ring in the name, so...
And it's got Ring in the name, so yeah, it's going to be great. He does look like he's getting dropped a little bit, but that's probably tactical at the minute.
Bit of fuel saving going on there as well.
Potentially, yeah. I don't know what the fuel saving capability is around this track, but you think it'd be quite good. You do kind of lift and coast into some of the corners naturally anyway, so you're going to save some fuel as a natural course, but he is getting dropped at the minute a little bit. I don't understand why, though, because he was right with them not that long ago. If he drops back too much further, he'll lose the toe. It does feel like Tyler's suddenly decided, right, I'm racing now. And Simon's giving him an amazing amount of room there, but that's only because he can protect the next corner. So that one was tactical.
I think someone's given Tyler a Red Bull.
Yeah, I think JB is in the pits. Or was in the pits.
Has he gone in for his fast repair?
He may well have done, yeah. There he is, just in front of these guys. And that is a pass for the lead. So, lap 12, and Tyler takes the lead of this race from Simon Trendle. that brings Stefan back into the mix again. You would think he would want to also put a move on Simon so he can stay with Tyler if he wants to win this, Stacey, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say?
Definitely got to build up his pace now for sure.
Yeah. JB staying left and letting all these guys through.
Yeah, he's got to keep up with these guys, otherwise he's going to be too far back.
Yes, absolutely. This is where he needs to push and stay in the toe of that Macca.
He's definitely got the pace. 100%
Oh, yeah.
Got the pace to pass Simon.
Excuse me. You may hear me making those noises a lot tonight, folks. Just ignore it. I'll try and die quietly.
You really don't sound well at all. And have you noticed I've not moaned once that I'm ill, but I'm here.
Man flu's a killer, we all know it.
So, Pete, what's the gap currently between Stephen Walker and Gary Craig?
It is 3 seconds, so about 4 days in reality. You can see the gap there just about. Gary and Ryan keeping time with one another. Not making any inroads really into Stephen's lead at the moment. 3.13 is the gap to the leader. They've got themselves a very tidy gap behind them. We're back at the front here because Simon Trendle feels a bit aggrieved that he gave up that position, I think. And he's putting some serious pressure on Tyler. I do love the way that the Chimera boys race because they are super clean but very, very competitive. Jamie Wilson not here tonight, but ordinarily he still gives a good fight and very, very clean with it as well.
Carl Hardy in the pits there, Pete.
Oh, it must be hungry time. Oh no, Chenonier also enter pit lane. Actually, I don't think. Oh no, he has been. Yeah, must have been. Why is he so far down the field? Doesn't say that he's been in the pits on my screen. For Carl Hungry Hardy. Do you remember that game, Hungry Hippos? Do you reckon there's like a Carl Hardy version where it's just like his head and it just goes nom nom nom, and you know, it eats all the balls off the little thing in the middle? Sorry?
I can't get that image out of my head now.
I think Clyde lost connection with the server.
Oh, he
no,
did.
it's not fine.
Yeah. He got so hungry, his internet disconnected on him, and now he's had to rejoin. That's very sad.
Oh.
But this is Stefan getting back on terms with the lead 2. So this is going to carry on for a while, I think, Stacey.
Go on, Stefan. Show him what you're made of. Oh. Anything going on with Martin there?
No.
Bit vocal from upstairs.
Really? Okay. Nothing seems untoward at the minute. However, he is suddenly 10 seconds behind Simon Cowell and his very high trouser line. I do think that Stefan is biding his time here. He gets dropped at certain points on the lap and then closes right up again. So I think certain places he's got the edge on the 2 in front of him. That's a very wide line though. That might even be a slowdown for Stefan. But the other 2 are, yeah, hopefully not. The other 2 are very consistent around the lap and very quick. So we'll have to see what happens by the end of the race, obviously. And I think pit stops might affect these guys quite a lot. So far in TCR, Carl Hardy has now rejoined the session. So there's still no pies available for anybody. Arnaud Chenonnier and JB Diju have both pitted. They're the only ones to have pitted. It does look like Arnaud has entered pit lane for a second time on my screen, but I'm sure that's wrong. No, I'm right. Oh, he's not got a drive-through. Oh my god, what's that for? Speeding, do you think, Sam?
Oh, maybe incident points already.
No way. You can't possibly have got 15 incident points in that amount of time.
Well, 15 laps.
Oh, I'm wrong. He's got 16. Oh,
That's early in the race.
Oh, yeah. Poor old Arnaud. Oh, dear. Right, these two scrapping mean that Stefan closes in on them yet again. Look at this. Simon's giving it full beans, Stacey.
Sorry, my internet keeps cutting out. I do apologise.
I would get your ISP to apologise, to be honest.
As I was saying earlier, I can run faster than this internet connection.
It does look like the hungriest man in the race has quit out manually this time. So that might be the last we've seen of Carl Pies Hardy. Which would be very sad if that's the case, but it is annoying when your internet does that to you. Good entertainment given by the GT4 field, given that there's only 4 of them. I feel we need to give some camera time to Jason Harrington, because I think he's about to get some attention from the TCR field, but just to make sure, just to let you know that he is still in the race, but he's what's that, 30 seconds behind the leader at the moment. His car's nice and clean though, and that's what matters. That means he's not been into any furniture or other cars. He's just racing his own race, racing his best race. Meanwhile, at the front, oh, go on.
I was going to say, when you're in a position like that, you can really use it as practice, to be fair, because you're not close enough to anyone where you're going to have any incidences. So yeah, have a bit of fun, bit of practice.
Yep.
It's always better to finish a race than not.
I mean, he's going to get a top 5, right? I mean, these guys are closer than the majority of the TCR field, although, well, I suppose Gary and Ryan are doing a tactical drive at the moment. They've got, they are absolutely together, but I think the idea here is that they don't interfere with one another and they stay as close to Stephen as they can. Hope that the pits forms a problem for Stephen, and then they take advantage of that. So we'll have to see what goes on. Look at that. Stefan's right on them about right now. That's pretty wide from Simon. I like this next turn when I'm racing, this one here. You take a good amount of curb there, in the TCR at least. I think that it would destabilise the GT4 if you took any curb. And then you fire yourself up the hill here, and then this one's blind. It's a real throw it into the corner and hope you don't drift wide, really.
All 3 of these guys up front here are all taking different lines. They've all got different skills there.
I think Hungaroring lends itself to that. There are multiple ways to take each of the corners. There will be an optimal one, but it doesn't mean that the others aren't advantageous in their own right for a short amount of time. Obviously, that's how you overtake people, is to take a different line than the racing line, and get overspeed as a result of doing different things. So, I mean, Stefan's given a lot of attention now to the back of that McLaren. I can only believe that he's going to actually do something fairly soon. Or will he wait for pit stops? Because look at that, Tyler is in. And anything really can happen in pit stops. You can get your entry wrong and get a dangerous entry, a speeding penalty. You miss your box and have to reverse, which is very embarrassing. I had to do that many times in the last race I did. Then there's coming over the white line on the exit, and that gets you a penalty as well. All sorts of gambling when you go for a pit stop. Have you got the right settings done when you enter it? Is it going to change all your tyres when you don't want it to? He's obviously taking what will that be? Left-hand tyres on a anti-clockwise circuit. Is that right, Sam? You take the left-hand tyres on an anti-clockwise circuit?
Well, when there's a lot of right turns, you usually take the left side tires. Yes.
When there's a lot of right turns, you take like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, cool.
Let's show the track map, and the two hairpins are right-hander, and in fact the bits at the top is also are right-hander.
And
so I would say yes.
Yeah, and it's clockwise, not anti-clockwise. I think I've just swallowed a thick pill somewhere along the line. Tell you what, Stacey, Loverboy's doing all right. He's 2 positions up from his start position.
Not bad, but you know, Cole has actually quit as well, so that's only 1 position up, to be fair.
Yeah. When he's up, when he's doing well, don't be scared of kicking him down again.
Well, usually when I say good things about him, it usually has a bit of an incident, so I'm just going to keep quiet about it, then I can't get blamed.
Good effort. Always good to use superstition as a reason not to finish a race. These two inseparable on track. Gary and Brian Stalker. Oh, who's that? Stalking the... Oh, right, this is the rest of the GT4 field, really. Excuse me. So that's Simon in the Macca and Stefan in the Porsche. See if everybody gets their pit stops done well. Looks good. Oh, look at that. Away. That's a bit different, Stacey. The Macca... So Simon didn't take tyres.
I'm just chuckling away to myself because every time the picture of the circuit comes up, I just can't help but laugh at Sam's comment. I can't unsee it. Right,
so the McLaren is away without popping up the tyres. Excuse me. He's out ahead of, obviously, Tyler Newitt, who did take 1 set of tyres, and Stefan, who also took a set of tyres. Big loser there, Stefan, but how much is not taking tyres going to affect that McLaren, do you think?
I reckon that's a huge mistake. A huge mistake.
It'd be interesting to know the tyre wear, obviously, around this track, but I do think that with a good set of left-hand tyres, you're going to get a massive advantage.
I think he's going to be kicking himself that he didn't take tyres.
And and to be fair, we don't know how well the McLaren burns through its tyres. It might be better than the Porsche. I do think he should do, really. I think it's included mostly in the coverage of the fuel. Or I might be wrong about that. Somebody on the chat can tell me whether you can whether you do tyres at the same time as fuel in the GT4s.
You don't have to ask the chat.
All right, go on then. I'll ask you.
Well, you can take 2 tyres at the same time as fuel. 4 is too long, but 2 you can. Mm-hmm. And the McLaren if I remember correctly, burns the tires more than the other cars. But
right.
I might be wrong on that one.
Okay. In that case, Simon's gambled really heavily. But we'll see what happens by the end of the race. Jason Haddington, we watched entering the pits. Looked good and safe. In TCR, still, the only people to have pitted are JB Deju and Arnaud Chenonnier. So, Stacey, without already knowing what you're going to say, if they were to bring any car into iRacing for you to race with, what would it be?
You know the answer to that one.
I kind of do. I think it's the, what was it? The Aston Martin, what was that thing, that ugly, horrible thing that they created? I don't remember now what it's called, but it was vile. I think that's your guess.
No.
No.
If I know which silly car you're thinking of, but I can't remember what it's called now. But Forza, one of the Forzas has got the car, but it would be my Z3M Coupe.
Yeah, I wondered if it would be something very close to home. What about you, Sam? If they were to bring any car possible into iRacing and model it, what would it be for you?
I would love for them to modelize some of the fun cars we got racing, like the VW Fun Cup.
All right, yeah, that's cool.
Cars like that, you know, the cars, not the supercars. We already have the GT3s, the GTEs, which we drive, obviously. You know, we already have plenty of that. It would be fun to have something a bit different. And I don't know if it would be popular, but that would be one of these cars. I took that one as an example because that's one I have in mind, but there's plenty of cars. Or Caterham, as just Alex said on the chat, that's another one that could bring a lot of fun, I think, into the community and bring something different than just GT cars around the track.
Yeah, funny that Alan has said Caterham, because I was thinking the Lotus, either the Elise, the Exige, any of those. They're a bit like the McLaren, to be honest. But obviously a lot smaller, and you just throw them around the track, to be honest. I think they could be a blast. I think they'd be my choice. I'm not interested necessarily in the ones that go at the speed of light. I think Alan's onto a winner there, actually, at Caterham. Good effort, Alan. That's good. And actually, Chris Needham has tuned in on one of my historical racing habits, which was Clio Cup. So me and Clyde, we used to do R Factor 2, and we raced Clios, and it was a blast. It was absolutely brilliant. We raced in the rain, obviously, because in R Factor you get rain. It wasn't fantastically modelled, but it was still hilarious. And he's also said minis. And minis have a huge following in the UK. I don't know whether they feature in many other countries, Stacey. Do you know that or not?
Honestly, if there was a sim racing for minis, I'd be all over that.
It's they race classic Coopers and they race the new ones now as well, don't they? So minis are supposed to be in Toka, aren't they? Or following the touring cars around next season to replace the Clios. And Alan said, yeah, Mini 7s are also. So if you're listening to iRacing, we want Lotus, Caterham, Minis and Clios. And then we'll all be happy, so that's fine. Meanwhile, in this race, I suppose we need to talk about this every so often, Stacey. Tyler is still crawling all over the back of Simon, who's initially apparently pulled a blinder on the pit stop strategy, but is going to be hampered by the lack of tyres, potentially. Stefan's been dropped by 3.5 seconds or more now, so I don't think he's going to feature at the end unless he pulls one out the hat now. What do you think, Stacey?
Didn't expect Stefan to be that far back, to be fair.
No.
Not at all. He was right up there. I don't know. Did he have a really slow pit stop? Or
let me check.
compared to the other guys up front?
He was 2 seconds slower in his pit time.
2 seconds does make a huge difference.
Yeah. Actually, Sam, excuse me, have you got the same pit lane time for Stefan as me? 47 seconds.
I have 57.
Oh, mine's on 47. I'm sure mine's just bonkers. So we won't
Simon
trust that,
and
then.
Tyler went 54.
Yeah, and 55, yeah. 54.22 and 55 I've got.
Yeah, that's about right.
So my Stefan time is way off. Don't know why. So Stefan was going to be my bid for the win. Who did you have for GT4?
Stefan too.
Oh, you had 7-2. Oh, I think we cursed him.
Well, that's why I kept quiet.
Yeah.
But you've done it anyway.
Yeah. There's Arnaud Chenonnier on a replay. This is never going to end well if Sam has put him on a replay. Straight on at turn 1. Hooks it back and back on track. I'd love to say I've never done that, but I have. So we also saw Jason Haddington, I think, getting in a bit of a mix with the lead of the TCRs. There he is, just ahead of these guys. He has pitted, they haven't, so it'll all filter out eventually. These guys have still got 4.5 seconds before they can find one Stephen Walker. I think we should show his car just so his sponsors don't get upset. And there he is. Imperious, as he often is. Can't say always now because we know that Gary has won last week. I am going to watch that tonight, actually, after this.
I'm going to have to watch it tomorrow, early start. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have to watch that now.
Yeah. I also have an early start, but I don't care anymore, so. Stefan is gaining on these two ever so slightly, lap on lap.
He must be listening. Come on, Stefan.
Yeah, his last lap was nearly a second faster than both of them. So he's just ticking off the laps.
I'm expecting Simon to hold up Tyler because of his tyres, which is then going to give a chance for Stefan to then catch up.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yep, I think that's about right. Arnaud Chenonnier appears to be in pit lane again. Oh, I think Arnaud has... Oh no. He's jumped to the bit. I think he's crashed. Oh, look at this though. Oh, Tyler's done an inside-out job there. But he's going to suffer here because I think, unless those tyres are very good, Simon will keep that inside line. Look at Tyler going around the outside. Or nearly, anyway.
Those tyres are definitely dropping off. They must be.
You would expect it, wouldn't you, really? I know that the tyre wear around Hungaroring should be quite high. There's a lot of heavy braking zones and some tight turns, so he would just naturally. Oh, look at that! He's got an awful lot of corner speed exiting. He's going to try a cut back here. It's only a short straight though. It's not going to benefit Tyler because the door's going to get shut immediately. But the next straight might. Sorry, Stacey.
I was going to say, look at the back. What's happening is hopefully what I was thinking was going to happen. The longer Simon holds up Tyler, the better for Stefan.
Yeah. Oh, who's that? Stephen Walker, right. So your TCR race leader has entered the pits. Don't forget, those watching, give us a like. We're always appreciating those. Good evening to James on the chat. Yeah, these two fighting, you're right, Stacey, is definitely bringing Stefan in. Tyler's grip levels significantly better, I would judge, based on that.
Am I right in saying that Stefan's also taken tyres as well?
Stefan did, yep. But Simon did not. Or at least his car didn't pop up on my screen.
Can't quite see who else is in the pits.
At the minute, nobody. Arnaud Chenonnier is in the pits for repairs. The TCR in the distance there is Simon Cowell, who's had a lap put on him. Because he's been in the pits. Right, Gary Craig has entered pit road now. In the distance behind him is Shane Powell.
Come on, Gary, make it a good stop.
He's going to drive round, actually, Arnaud's car. Oh, no, through it. There we go. There won't be any tyres for the TCRs. Not worth it. Gary's leaving pit road, but it's not going to be good enough because Stephen Walker is well past him. These two are literally inseparable at the minute. Tyler's got a run here, I think. He's definitely in the tow. I just don't think the straight's long enough, Stacey.
I just don't know how he's still sticking to the track. He should be all over the show by now.
Yeah, well, iRacing, when you're viewing it, can be a bit deceptive at times. People can take tyres and it doesn't pop up occasionally. It's been a lot more reliable recently. Or in the last, year or so. So based on the fact that the car didn't pop up, I would say he's not taken tyres, but we'll see. That was very wide from Tyler. For James, sadly, Carl Pies Hardy at his home track of Hungary had an internet outage and got booted by his internet, rejoined, and then he quit out manually. So, sad but true, I'm afraid. These two are properly going at it now, though. Tyler having a look, but it's a bit of a Bit of a tell, to be honest. It's not serious. This might be, though. He's going to try the inside out. He's tried this on a number of occasions and been held out in the final turn, Stacey. He's not managed to make it stick yet.
Tyler should have made this move by now. A good few laps ago.
And the balance has been redressed. Brian Stoker pits on the next lap after Gary and pops out of the pit lane right behind him as he was. Stefan is creeping ever so slightly closer. So last lap he was 0.7 of a second faster than the two in front of him and has crawled right up on the back of them. Our bet, Stacey, is still good.
It's still there. I'm hoping this is going to play into his hands.
Yeah, that's Shane Powell in front of these guys. Excuse me. Maybe he won't get in the way, and indeed he pulls as far to the left as he can. That might benefit Stefan, actually. He'll get a bit of extra toe. Oh no, maybe not. I was thinking they were on the longer straight, the next one. So he's going to get impeded by the TCR, I think. And Shane does get out of the way.
That's held him up a bit.
It really has, yeah. He's dropped. Excuse me. He's dropped back a little way.
Oh, Tyler was itching to get past.
Isn't he? He's putting himself in the mirror of Simon, but not actually doing anything about it yet.
Do we not have any on board?
Sorry?
Do we have cameras for Tyler tonight?
No, insets. No, we don't. But you're right. Stefan got dropped there because of the TCR back marker. See, Tyler's able to turn the car more sharply, but the launch power of that McLaren is significant, and Simon's using the launch power to the best of its ability. A lot of overdrive there from Tyler, but he can't use it because the McLaren will be right on the apex and the advantage is lost.
I'm beginning to think now perhaps maybe Simon has took tyres but we just couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's been like that before, hasn't it, Sam? Where we've seen a car look like it's not taking tyres and it has.
Maybe. I don't remember, but yeah, if you say so, that's probably the case.
From what Sam was saying earlier, that the tyre wear is a lot higher on that car.
Yeah.
Tyler should have gone past a long time ago.
I think so, yeah.
And if Tyler's listening, he needs to get a move on.
He does. There's not long left in this race. Excuse me. We've only got about 6 minutes or 5 minutes worth of racing left now, which is about 3 laps or 4 laps, maybe. It's probably more like 3. So whatever needs to be done now. Everybody's pitted now. The whole field is pitted. Carl Hardy's gone for one massive pit stop in order that he can get his pie allocation in. These guys are approaching, overtaking second and third in TCR, so they've made their way through most of the TCR field now. I doubt they're going to catch Tim Walker. He's 6 seconds ahead of these guys. But this may play into Tyler's hands here. What do you think, Stacey?
Sorry, you cut out there again.
Oh, did I? I was saying that the two TCRs in front of Simon may play into Tyler's hands.
Let's see. Hopefully they're just going to move out of the way and give him a chance to get a clear run.
Well, these guys are racing with each other, so I think that it's unlikely they're just going to give up and get out of the way. Although Ryan does a good job of doing exactly that, so maybe I'm utterly wrong. Although he's not happy about it on the in-race chat. Getting elbowed out of the way by his sister teammate, Tyler Newitt. And Tyler's taking advantage of this fully, Stacey.
Ooh, look at that. Finally, move done.
Yeah, he's... Oh, no.
Oh, come on, Stefan, hold it. Oh. Did Ryan go into Stefan? That
Stefan
really
is waiting.
Corner.
Stefan's waiting because he got into the back of Jason. Not Jason, he's not in this one. Simon. Good grief. He has done the gentlemanly thing, the sportsmanlike thing, and let Simon through again. That is all about just carrying the tiniest amount of overspeeding. And that's it. What's your opinion, Simon? Who the hell? Sam?
Yeah, it's a complicated spot to be in because there's traffic, and Simon was a bit wide on the entry on the corner, so I get Stefan saw maybe an opportunity which wasn't there, and you know, not saying he tried the move, but there were a gap. But there wasn't a gap to pass, and I think it's just a genuine mistake, or maybe a bit overspeed, as you said. It's just, you know, these things happen when you're battling in a pack with traffic.
It does. Excuse me. The sad thing is, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's really sad. The car's broken.
What?
Oh, look at the left front.
Yeah, left front
is shattered. Oh, man. Oh, I feel terrible for Stefan. He was having such a good race. That's how
what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Just at the end, right at the top right-hand corner of the picture, that's when I shouted what happened, because it looked like Ryan had got into him.
Right. I didn't realise that.
It was the top right.
And he won't be able to see him either because the visibility in the TCR is terrible. Excuse me.
Well, Pete, you don't even need to ask tonight who my driver of the night is because it's already done.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
Yeah,
I didn't even see it. You can't even see that.
Yeah,
There's
Ryan's
no way
in the
he
pit
knew.
as well.
Oh, devastated.
That's
is he driving through?
Yeah, that's a drive through. Cost him one spot to Shane.
Yeah,
and I saw the white flag. White flag is out, so this is the last lap for Tyler.
All the drama at the end of the race, Stacey. All the drama.
Oh, I don't even know what to say now. Absolutely gutted.
Yeah. Given all this is going on, Stefan could still win.
I could feel it. I could feel it reeling in. It was coming. The win was coming.
And let's remember, Jason will have a podium at the end.
Yeah.
I've not said it because I didn't want it to jinx any drivers when you talked about Jason being fourth and doing a top 5, but I told myself he could still get a podium if someone crashes.
And he's got it. Yeah.
Because he's just in front of Tyler, so he could get that one more lap.
He's not doing it. He's not doing it. He's going to let him go.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Gary is trying to bribe Tyler to stay behind Stephen. That was funny. So, there's your two winners, folks. Tyler and Stephen. take the glory at Hungaroring. In the distance there, Simon Trendle takes second place. In GT4, Gary takes second place, I think, anyway. Yeah, in TCR, Shane Powell gets himself a podium, I think. Is that right? Yeah. Didn't mean to sound quite so surprised, but there you go. And then Jason Haddington pulls a blinder, gets himself a podium in the GT4 field.
Well, that race was definitely far from boring.
Yeah, there was a bit in the middle where it got a bit dry, but at least we got to talk about the tactics that could have surfaced. Shame about what happened in the end overall. There's JB Dejoux taking the checker flag. He's not last, which is always a bonus. Loverboy finishes 11th. He's one position higher than he started, so a result there for him. Obviously, we'll wait for everybody to complete their laps. There we go. Martin Brennan finishes with a clean car. Sorry, no. Yeah, I spoke too soon. Tyler's done his lap of honour. Now he's got some burnouts to do on the start-finish straight. At least it's rear-wheel drive with traction control, so good luck with that. So he's just going to handy B. There we go. That was pretty poor, Tyler. Try again.
Also,
there we go. He's got it now. He's got it now. There we go. Sorted. So once the race goes official, which should be imminently, we'll run through the field. I'll do it because it's too blurry for Stacey's internet. Chris Needham shouting out for Jason. Right, so your GT4 race winner is the man on screen at the minute. Tyler the Smiler knew it for BSTV Esports Orange. Simon Trendle finishes second after coming together on the penultimate lap for Team Chimera. Jason Haddington for RWC Racing White finishes third. And really sad, Stefan Goebel had to retire after that incident for VTS Esports. I really had my money on Stefan tonight. I honestly did. And then in TCR, Stephen Walker takes home the top spot. And what we're watching? We're watching a replay? No. My screen is doing a strobing thing, so I'm going to try and stop it. Right, so Stephen Walker finishes first for TCR for Spectre 6 Purple. Gary Craig finishes in second place for BSTV Esports Green. Third was Shane Powell for Spectre 6 White, taking advantage of Ryan Walker's coming together as part of that big incident for BSTV Esports Blue in fourth. Russell Cowell finished fifth for Spectre 6 White, with David Ayres following him home in sixth place for Result Clothing. JB Dejoux finished in seventh for LMT Racing. Then Loverboy Martin Brennan for Safeguard by Result. Arnaud Chenonnier finished ninth for RWC Racing White. And sadly, Carl Hardy had to quit when his internet let him down in 10th place for Safeguard. So, we shall see who is queuing in the interview room. I think it's only fair that we bring Tyler Newitt in straight away. So that's what we'll do. Good evening, Tyler. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Pete.
Yeah, so you won the race fair and square by getting yourself ahead before any of the shenanigans started. Do you know if Simon took tyres or not? Because his car didn't pop up for us.
I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't. It was pretty even tire wear all the way around. So taking one side would have been a bit unsettling and not a tremendous benefit.
Right, okay.
So it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't. But the McLaren was just so good onto the front straight that it made passing nigh on impossible. Because there's no other place to pass around the whole track. But.
No, Hungaroring's one of those places. There's like 2 places to pass, and that is the best of them. You tried to set him up into the penultimate corner on about 5 or 6 occasions minimum. You tried to take a better line into the last turn, but it didn't do you very good until you got into traffic.
Right, so the trick that worked the first time was if I could get alongside in the second to last corner, he would take a very kind of wide final corner.
Yep.
Which is part of what I think cost him in the end. Because I don't know that Stefan was anticipating it, but he would take a very wide final corner, and if I could pinch off the entry for him by being alongside, I could set up a runoff for myself onto the front straight, which worked in the first stint, which is how I got ahead initially. But the subsequent times that I tried, it was not successful until the very end, when I think he guessed which way Gary was going to go in the second to last corner, and unfortunately for him, he guessed wrong, and I knew I was kind of good on the brakes there, good enough that I could hold it to the inside and not worry about taking out him and Gary, hopefully. So just sent it in and stuck it on the inside, and wasn't expecting to clear him into the final corner. I don't know if he was, kind of giving up the inside to try and set up a run onto the front straight or what, but I cleared him going up that hill, and then it all unfolded behind me, I guess.
Yeah, and only just behind you as well, because you'd only just done the move, really. Sadly, it took a couple of cars out of the race. Stefan being one of them, and I had good money on Stefan. He was super quick in practice. I really thought this could be his race tonight. Other than that, though, fantastic race for you. Can only be good for your championship points. You got a few hundred to claw back on Simon. And only, is it 1 week left of this season? I can't remember now. I think that's right.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Cool.
You sound very different, though. It's almost as if your headset has dropped you.
Not my headset. I bumped my PC power or sleep button on my keyboard, so it fell asleep. So I've rejoined on my phone, but I'm back.
Excellent. Excuse me. I'm not the most well of people.
Yes,
you're right there, Pete.
Maybe. Anyway, so you had 110 points, call it, to claw back on Simon. You'll have got some of that back. And there's only one race of the season left, I think. I'll have a look at the schedule very quickly. Yes, it is one of your favourites, Bathurst.
Well, I didn't want to say anything before the race, so Simon didn't know he had.
Not sure where Tyler's gone at the moment. Yeah, I think he's vanished for me. Has he vanished for you as well, Stacey?
He has, yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, he might be back.
Oh, is he back?
Hello.
Hello, you are back with us.
Yeah, I turned my computer back on and it kicked me out of chat on my phone. So
Awesome.
having fun here.
Yeah.
I wanted Simon to still think he had something to race for, but I can't make the last round.
He's joking.
Yeah, I'll be on a plane to New York when the last round is happening. So
Right. Okay. Are you from New York originally? I can't remember.
yes, yeah.
Yes, you are. You're heading home then.
Yes, heading home to head back across the country, but that's a longer story. But yeah, and with new jobs starting, there's a chance this was my my last GT4 race, so I wanted to make sure I got a big burnout in at the end.
Oh, you did, certainly did.
Yeah.
So I guess your new job will mean that you can't race Wednesday evenings.
Yes, because it is Wednesday afternoon for me.
All you need to do,
work
Tyler,
time. So
all you need to do is move to the UK. And
yes,
then
yeah.
everything is fine.
Much easier. Yeah. I'll tell the wife. No,
I'm really sad to hear that. That is such a shame because you always put on an awesome race, and yeah, that is such a shame not to see you on a Wednesday now.
Yeah, it's the biggest downside to getting a job. Is I'm not going to be able to do this anymore.
Well,
because
congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I just I this league is got to be one of the best on iRacing. Everyone is so friendly. And still so competitive. It makes for a really, really great league, and hopefully we get enough GT4 interest to keep it going after my tenure is up. But yeah, I'll be. It'll be bittersweet to not be here on Wednesdays.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not going to be the same without you, mate. It's not going to be the same.
I appreciate it.
No, it really isn't, Tyler. It's going to be a big void in the GT4 field. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
First of all, to you guys as always for doing the broadcast, and to everyone who is in the BSTV team chat, Gary and Ryan and JB today, small group as was the race, but a special shout out to Simon. He is so much fun to race against. It's a small grid out there, but at some point in that race, I was just throwing everything at the wall to try and make a move happen. And Simon always knew what was coming, and I think I was complaining in the team chat that, why did Simon have to be such a good tactical race car driver, because it makes my life more difficult, but it also makes it more fun. So really appreciate the battle with Simon today. It was a blast, and glad to get another one on him before I bow out.
Yeah, well, very sad that you can't join us. Utterly understandable. And going out on a high. Tyler knew it.
Thanks, everybody.
Very sad to hear that. But it's part of life, isn't it, Stacey? You have to kind of go sometimes where the money and the work is.
It's definitely not going to be the same without Tyler for sure, but hopefully we can catch him on some different races over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world for him. And welcome to the booth to Simon Trendle. How are you doing?
Exhausted after that.
I bet you are. Tyler gave you a run for your money. He tried to set you up at least 6 times that I could count, if not more, in the penultimate turn, so that he could try and take you in the last turn. It took other traffic in the end to separate you from first place in your McLaren, and then other things happened.
Yes, other things happened. It's a shame that those things happened, because the only really hope I had against those Porsches was to not lose the lead. So
Yeah.
The traffic was annoying, but there's nothing you can do about that, and part of the track is once you get past turn 4, there's really nothing you can do.
No, it's a timing thing, isn't it? And the timing for you probably with that traffic was the worst it could be. Penultimate lap, with Tyler crawling all over you, as he had been for a number of laps. He'd done the moves. You were probably predicting where he was going to go on that lap anyway, but when you get into traffic, it upsets your rhythm, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So, I mean, I knew where I was going to catch that traffic the halfway around the lap before, just because of how the timing worked out. And I was debating all the way through, how am I going to do this? Because I'm going to have to either send it or wait. And I waited for a bit, and then I sent past Ryan on one part of the track where there's a little bit. It's not even a straight, but at least a bit of full throttle. And apparently there was a bit of netcode between me and Ryan there, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't actually realise it was with me. He had that contact. I heard the voice chat, but I thought it was Tyler behind me going past him. Obviously, I wasn't really looking in my mirrors at that point. I was trying to stay on the track.
If I'm being honest, I thought it was Tyler as well.
Was it? Oh,
I think so. Yeah, I think the voice was a bit delayed, because it was into the right-hander after the full throttle left-hander, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was what Gary was saying in the waiting room there. Apparently, it was me that had the contacts, but
I don't remember that. But never mind. Never mind. We'll let it go. You're gonna have to not turn up at all for the last race, really, aren't you? In order to not take the championship now.
I guess so. I'm the only one I think of who's done all the races, apart from Monza, where I did turn up, but put myself in a wall because VR went off. So
yeah, all right. I do recall that, to be honest, and a very sad day that was. But yeah, it's your championship to throw away next week.
Oh, no,
we're at Bathurst. I don't know whether you heard Tyler. In his interview, he said he wouldn't be available for that. So I think there's about 6 gazillion points between you and whoever's in third. Let me have a quick look so that you're well educated. Yeah, there's 240 points between you and Stefan. Stefan's incident, when you watch it back, it's a nothing thing. He's gone in a bit hot into the last turn with all the traffic. Been a bit offline and lost his traction and then got into you. That wasn't what finished his race. It was Brian Stalker that polished his car off and polished himself off. Neither of them to blame, really. It's just a series of unfortunate incidents. So, yeah. Bathurst, I think you're good round there. As I remember, I've raced you round there in TCRs before. And I didn't like it because you were fast.
I genuinely don't remember that.
Yeah,
I've never raced around there.
You're going to have to go back a few years, but yes.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure I haven't. But
might have been Jamie then.
I might have done a practice session around there, but
yeah.
I don't think I've raced around there. I was looking it up. No, I never have.
No, it must have been Jamie then.
Not at least in the last 4 years.
Right. So, a track you like and are comfortable at, or one that's going to give you a bit of bother?
Well, if I have sealed up the championship, that's a good thing, because the last time I drove a McLaren around Bathurst, I binned it on the second lap.
Still hope for Stefan then.
In a 12-hour race when my teammate had done 2 hours flat out. So he wasn't very happy with me after that. So sorry, Ben. I'm still sorry about that one.
Yeah.
It was a spectacular crash, in my defence. Great on the broadcast at the time.
So Sam, if you make the winning points something like 3,000 for next week, we should be in for a good race.
Yeah, if Tyler's not there next week, hopefully we get a decent film and we can have some sort of race, because I need to get that monkey off my back with binning it at Bathurst.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go? And where's Jamie tonight? What's he doing?
Still has his medical issue.
Oh, okay.
So that's still ongoing. Hopefully he'll be back in a week or two, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or for the new season. Yeah. Hopefully Jamie gets well soon. You guys all for broadcasting, and everyone in GT4 and TCR for turning up and obviously giving me a race to do this evening.
Yeah, get well, Jamie. I hope to see you back very shortly. And congratulations, Simon Trendle.
Thank you.
Well done, Simon.
Cool. Right, so it's only fair and reasonable that we get in Stephen Walker as our next interviewee. Stephen, another dominant victory. You ended up winning by, I'm trying to see it now, 5.2 seconds. Excuse me, not the best, not the most well of people.
We both.
But you very much dominated. Your practice lap was eye-wateringly fast. I think it was a 154.8 or something obscene. And you got to the front early on, as in stayed at the front early on, got yourself a little bit of a gap, and then decided to stride away later on in the race. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, so we did the official last night. So I knew I had a little bit of pace. So I was like, just try and qualify at the front, and then just manage to race a bit. The tyres seemed to just drop off from, I'd say, about halfway through the race. Like, just they were gradually going off and they were dropping off. So I just wanted to try and get a bit of a gap at the start, and then just manage that gap towards the end. And then I'd say the last after I pitted, I was just trying to take it easy because I don't feel well. I didn't want to make a stupid mistake and end up in the wall or something.
Right, okay. Are you one of the walking wounded just like me, are you?
Literally came on last night and then felt awful all the way through today, and I was like, do I do it, do I not? And I'm like, yeah, I'll just sweat it out.
Yeah. Amen to that, brother. Again, you're another one that will struggle to lose your championship lead. You've got a massive lead. It's like 280 points over Gary, which I feel personally offended by because he's my teammate. I think you should donate some to charity and give him a fighting chance at Bathurst. Bathurst, is that a track that you crash at a lot? I'm hoping it is, so that Gary can win.
It's one of my favourite ones. I absolutely love it.
Really? All the tracks throughout the season where you go, oh, I don't like this track, I'm not good here, and then you win. And then we get to one where you say, I love it.
So I'll come second, third, or fourth. I'll put it in the wall, I imagine.
I think your car's going to spontaneously combust on the outlap. But it'll take more than that for you to lose the lead of the championship. It's been a great season. Are you going to join us for next season? You better add to.
Yeah, I'll be here barring any unforeseen circumstances, but yeah, I should be here.
Well, all unforeseen circumstances can absolutely off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anybody you'd like to thank for your performance tonight, other than yourself, obviously, for actually performing like that, because that was pretty cool.
Obviously, just you guys for putting everything on and the sponsors, and then I think Shane got a podium with everything that went on at the end. I'm not quite. I need to go and watch it back, but I believe he finished third, and Russ, I think, came fourth, fifth.
Fifth for Russell and third for Shane. Yeah, that's a good result for Shane.
Yeah, he deserves that. He's worked hard after the start of the season just to not make any silly mistakes. Obviously, it's well easily done, but yeah, I'm proud of him for getting that because he's keeps telling me he's just struggling, and then he goes in a race and pulls it out normally. So yeah, it's that. And obviously, Russ the same. We did a bit of coaching last night after the official, so that helped him. For watching.
Whenever I'm doing officials, I'm usually between Russell and Shane in one way or another. That's where I kind of float around.
It's not a privilege you have to pay for.
Yeah. Any sandwich like that's got to be a good one, right? Anyway, we'll see you at Bathurst then. Thank you very much. Our race winner tonight for TCR, Stephen Walker.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cool.
What a nice bloke.
Oh, he's lovely, isn't he? He's great. He's annoying as hell because he wins a lot. But he's a lovely bloke. And last into the booth tonight is the greatest racer from the greatest team in the greatest whatever universe. Are you singing to him tonight, Stacey, or not?
Well, my little tune that I do from Gary Craig, and I've got a sore throat, so I sound even worse than usual. But wait, well done, Gary.
Thank you, and welcome back from the dead, Pete.
Yeah, I feel like death. I'm still full of flu.
Oh dear. Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Gary, while he's coughing and dying, let me congratulate you for last week. I can't believe I missed your win.
I can't believe I forgot to dedicate it to you for cheering for me for so many weeks and me not winning.
Too right.
Gary, you've made it even worse. Not only did I miss you last week because I was working a late shift, you never dedicated it to me. Wow.
Oh, you didn't see it? Sorry, I dedicated it to you in the interview afterwards. Yeah, totally did.
Brilliant.
Such a lie. But well done, Gary. Good job tonight. one day you will stick it to him when I'm actually broadcasting, but I'll pass you over to Pete, mate. But well done, Gary.
Cheers.
Yeah. Stephen kind of dropped you and Ryan on about lap 5 or 6. He started to build his gap. He didn't win by that much in the end. It was 5 seconds, and it's been a lot more in other tracks. You were very quick tonight, as was Ryan, and you got the legs on Ryan in the end with the traffic that came into view. So, and obviously there was an incident on the penultimate lap at the last corner, which kind of ruined Ryan's race. But your performance was pretty imperious, if only for that pesky Stephen Walker.
He got lucky again, didn't he?
Very, very lucky. Lucky Walker.
Yeah. Now, we've been doing the officials on the Tuesday night. Me, Ryan, Stephen, and Russell, like, quite consistently be doing them recently. And, like, last night, Stephen did the same thing. He got away and built up 6-second lead. He was just quicker at this track. And early in the race, like, I was really worried about my tyres because we totally overheated them last night and I just destroyed them. So I was trying to be careful, but it meant that like those first even 4 or 5 laps in, I was still losing the back end a bit with the cold back tyres because I was trying to look after them. And I just made those 1 or 2 little mistakes and that allowed Stephen to get out of the draft and then he pulled away. And when he got to 2.5, 3 seconds away, he then started to fuel save. That's why he didn't get any further away. I was pushing flat out to see if I could get back in his draft, and he was just holding me at arm's bay, saving fuel. So that's it could have been a much bigger gap, to be honest. And like he took more fuel than he needed. He had 2 laps of fuel left at the end. He was 2 seconds slower in the pits than me, so he easily could have won that by more than 10 seconds.
Most likely, yeah, and he was 280 points ahead of you at the start of the race. That'll extend it out a little.
Well, he's now won the championship, so congratulations to him.
I think so, yeah. I think he's, other than him getting penalised by about 200 points, then yeah.
Can that be arranged?
I can arrange anything for the right amount of money. That's fine.
Oh, well, you're cheap, aren't you? Like £5?
Yeah. That's more than I'd be asking for, funnily enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'd heard rumours about giving him a back of the grid penalty at the start of the race, and although I don't think that's necessarily fair, I definitely think it would have been something to discuss after the race, and then we could have sorted it out then.
Yeah, totally. Bathurst, that's your next one. How are you feeling about Bathurst?
We've raced here at Bathurst, and I think the key to victory is to ask David Ayres for a setup, isn't it?
That was funny as hell, that wasn't it? So for the view,
he's still mad,
still bitter. So we had a reasonable setup, to be fair.
No, we had a terrible setup, and I couldn't drive it.
I was trying to smooth it over for the viewers. So we asked, do you mind sharing your setup? No, and then myself and Gary finished ahead of Carl and David. Which did you feel bad about it?
I felt victory champagne. How do you think it felt?
Yeah, I felt similar.
But no. Well,
painless for me.
It was, to be fair, Carl sent us the setup, and it was Dave's. And to be fair, we were having a good race until the safety car messed us up in that one. So I'm glad we don't have safety cars tonight, this season. So looking forward to next week. It's an interesting track, probably made a little bit easier by the fact that we won't have quite so many GT4s by the looks of it, which is a shame, but it might make our crossing of the mountains slightly less painful. It still doesn't mean I'm not going to stick it in a wall somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully it won't become a TCR race on its own, but yeah, you're right, there might be too few GT4s to make a feature. But congratulations tonight on a 2nd place. It's very well deserved, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody you'd like to shout out to before we let you go, other than me for being the best teammate ever?
Yep, you came back from the dead. Well done.
Yep.
Well done. I hope you're back in the car next season, or at least after Christmas, when things hopefully get back to normal.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'll thank him next week, or congratulate him. But well done to Stephen for sealing that championship. He's had an amazing season. The fact that he's won 10 of 11 races is pretty damn good. So he certainly earned it. So well done to him. And unlucky to Ryan tonight. I was expecting Ryan to send it into turn 1 on the last lap, and unfortunately he didn't get to make it that far. Well, not while still in the battle, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, thanks to you guys. Great to see you back, Pete, and also thanks to Stacey. Look forward to listening back. And Sam, of course, can't forget Sam. And just everyone else who races and watches. It's been a really good season, and look forward to finishing off next week, and hopefully we'll have a good tight one again.
Yeah, we can only hope for those sort of things.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations on your second place, and we'll see you at Bathurst next week.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
So, I thought that was a very exciting race for GT4 right up until the end. TCR's kind of separated out early on, and there were some pocketed battles. The back of the the TCR field was very exciting until it all went a bit wrong. And then at the end of the race, obviously, we had the dramas for both fields. Ryan, Walker, and Stefan probably lost out the most from all of that.
Yeah.
Your opinion, Stacey?
Well, as you just said, I did not expect any of that at the end at all. I thought that was going to be quite clean at the end. I thought what was going to happen, it was going to play into Stefan's hands, but it didn't. So, as they say, anything can happen. You can't predict.
No, and my money really was on Stefan, and a shame that he wasn't able to finish. He did the gentlemanly, sportsmanlike thing and pulled over to let Simon through, but still had to retire. Sam, your opinion on the race and all the events that went on?
Well, same time next week.
Yeah.
I sign in for the exact same race. Would be great. Apart from the crash at the end, if we could do without, that would be great.
Yeah, it would.
But yeah, it's like a rig. They put on a great show. Race is awesome, and they seem to like it as well, which is even better. You can see it on the track, and you can hear it in the interviews afterwards. So yeah, really great race. There's nothing much to say. Yeah.
Cool. Right, driver of the race. Who's yours, Stacey?
Stefan Goebel.
Yeah, I am going to do a
Didn't even need
similar
to think about that one.
Yeah, even though he was the cause of the crash at the end that took a couple of cars out.
I don't even think he was the cause either, to be fair. But
he kind of was.
Yeah.
He charged the corner a bit. There was an opportunity there, and he tried to go for it, but ended up scrubbing his tyres and taking out Simon. And then Ryan, unsighted, hit him. That was part of Stefan's incident. But I'm tempted to go for him as well, funnily enough. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But I have to do it. It's got to be Stefan for me. He did
a really good race.
Great race.
100% deserves that from both. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And Sam?
Well, I was first picking Tyler, but as he's going to leave us...
no point. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm still going to pick him because I think he did the race he needed to do. Take the best opportunity to pass Simon, which he did. We'll never know if Simon could have fight that back in the last lap, but he did the right job. So my vote goes to Tyler.
Right. Okay. Where am I? So Yaz said his driver of the day is anyone that beats Stephen Walker. So that's nobody. So we don't get a vote there. So we will review, I am sure, driver of the day or a driver of the session or whatever in the last race for whoever broadcasts that one. And I will now go and curl up in the fetal position and feel very bad about myself and wish everybody a very fond farewell. I will see you the next time I'm either racing or broadcasting. I'm trying to see what we've got going on in the not too distant future. So if you wait for a second while I access.
While you're waiting, I just want to say, Jason Eddington sent me a message asking to thanks all of his fans and teammates for the podium today.
Yeah, all right, okay, cool. I've not spotted that one yet. So well done to Jason Haddington. Right, so where are we now? We're on the 24th. I need to go to December to find the next race. Really? Is that right? Oh yeah, there we go. Right, so on the 1st of December is our next race. We don't know what that'll. Oh no, we know it's Bathurst, don't we? Is that right? Cool.
You just asked the drivers about how they felt about Bathurst.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I'll try and duck and bob and weave that one. Then we've got on the 4th of December the Red Bull Ring with the Porsche 922 Challenge on Saturday. There's 2 races in there, a sprint and a feature, 30 minutes and 60. And then we've got a bit of a break till the 12th of December, and we've got the trucks at Watkins Glen. That's the Cup. You can watch Clyde crashing and embarrassing himself in that one for an hour. And that's it for about the next fortnight. So a little bit of gaps in between, but no less exciting races. I will say goodnight to everybody now and hand you over to Stacey to say goodnight as well, and then Sam. And we will see you the next time you can join us, which hopefully is all of our races. Good night.
Thanks for joining tonight, Pete. Hopefully we can see you race next week. That'd be awesome. And thanks for everybody for watching, and catch up next week.
Yep. Thanks everybody, and see you next week.